Hey folks, my name is Joey. I'm a crafter, 3D printer, and a collector of model trains, and I'm going to show you how I build a variety of different things. Hey folks, welcome back to the channel. My name is Joey. In today's video, I'm going to be redesigning a box to one of my favorite board games that I just acquired. I had played it multiple times before I bought this, but I finally decided to make the purchase. It is called Machi Koro. The objective of the game is to build your own Japanese city, and you want to be the first out of your friends to have the best city. It's actually more of a cross between a card game and a board game. It's very fun. The only problem that I have with it is they built this really big box for something all you needed was for these cards, the bag of dice, the bag of coins, and these dice. That is it. So the first thing I did before I even started designing a model was go on printables.com and thingiverse and check for models. I wanted something that I can make it portable as well as a good storage device. So I could take this small container with me, say on vacation or to a friend's house, etc. So I saw a bunch of models that I was inspired by. Here are all of the models that come up when you type Machi Koro on printables.com. Most of the models I was inspired by, like this one, and this one was the one that I mainly took the inspiration from. I liked the design, but I redesigned it to be a little better. As you can see here, there's the coin holders, and that's how the cards go in. But I just didn't like the closing mechanism, and I didn't really like the main overall design of it. I wanted it to be an all-in-one piece that they just lock into each other, like I mentioned. And here's another one that I liked, but I didn't like the fact that there was really nothing to hold the coins. So the coins are just loose then. And then here's some other designs on thingiverse. Nothing jumped out at me except for that one that I took in major inspiration from. But what I did do is I downloaded this model right here just so I could use the font for the inside numbers of each tray. I started off by taking the dimensions of the cards and the dice with the caliper, and then modeled them in SketchUp. And I decided to then not use the dice that I made and just download dice and scale to the right size, just because it looks so much nicer than mine, because I'm just that kind of person. Then I offset the model by a 1/16 of an inch, and then offset it again by 3/8 of an inch. The 16th was give it room for the cards, and then I pulled it down to the height of the cards, and then another 1/16 of an inch, and then filled in the hole and dropped it down another 1/16 of an inch, and closed up the new hole that I made. Still carried it as a solid, and then I raised the top another 1/16 of an inch, just to really make sure I have enough room for the cards. And then off camera, I modeled the magnets that I ordered on Amazon, and I'm putting them roughly where I want them in the model. They're going to be fully embedded. This is the first time I've actually done something like this. I knew roughly how to do it, but I didn't think it was going to work. But it worked. But not the magnets that I ordered. The magnets were too weak for this project, so I have to redo this with better magnets. I wanted them to be centered from left to right and front to back, and one on each side from the length of it. I designed the slots to be a 1/16 of an inch deep. But before I made the spots for the magnets to be inserted, I decided the rest of the trays. So I started off by taking the one design that I really liked, but I thought needed a lot of tweaking, and copied the sizes for the coins and the dice, but then worked it around my model. I just didn't like how the other model closed and stayed together, and I wanted it to look like it was made by the company. That's just how I am. But the other model that I downloaded, you just a regular typeface for the 5 and the 10. But me being me, it had to be the same typeface as the 5 and the 10 and the 20 as the game. So I downloaded a 3D printable model of the coin from the game and took that text and put it where the 5 and the 10 were, where I thought were supposed to go, but it ended up that I put them in the wrong location, and I didn't realize that until after I printed and made that mistake. It ends up that the magnets never worked in the end anyway, so it worked out that I had to fix it, so I had to reprint them anyway. And as you can see here, I did the same thing like I did with the $5 and the $10 tray. Next, I made the holes for the magnets the same. I waited till all the other trays were designed so I could just copy and paste them for all the models, so they would be in the same location for everything, so I didn't have to actually do work to make it a little easier on all of them. The next thing I wanted to do was use the offset tool so I can make a foot. So it would lock in not only with the magnets as well, it would also be held in by the foot. But it ended up that the model, I guess, wasn't straight at the bottom, so I had to fix it to make it completely straight so I could use the offset tool so the line would be straight and work. And I gave myself a tolerance of a 1/16 of an inch. It's probably a little too much, but it doesn't matter because the magnets will hold it in as well. Now here's roughly what the box is going to look like, except for the top. The top is just a base model. The top is just a model that I made. I couldn't actually import what I wanted the top to look like. And the trays could be all put in any order you want. It doesn't have to be in the order that I have it. I have it where the cards will be first, the dice and the $1 coin will be second, and the $5 and $10 coin will be. But you can have it in any order. You could have the $5 to $10 coin in the top, and the cards in the middle, and the 1 to dice on the bottom. Doesn't matter. They all work the same. Here's what the top is actually going to look like. Thank you for watching, and please like and subscribe. Stay tuned for part 2 of this video where I print this model and assemble it.